All right, hey guys, I'm Donald Dix here, and this is I want to say you were the third episode that we have for season three, my my Valorant coaching companion. So we're here with Krypt, and we're going to be talking about Krypt's tips. Now, Krypt's, from what I gathered and from what I learned, does Valorant coaching. Now, Valorant coaching is something that I myself wasn't too knowledgeable in, and I didn't even know like people can get paid for it. Like I didn't know this was a profession. So that being said, we have Krypt. Krypt, you want to say hi?
What's going on?
How you doing? So we got a
Pretty
few
good.
questions. We got a few questions for Krypt today, and we're gonna kind of learn and indulge yourself in what it is Valorant coaching, like what it takes and all that sort of stuff. So, what's something most new Valorant players don't know to do? And your words, Krypt.
Don't know what to do. I would say people just don't know what to do. I think more about more effective ways to do the thing that they're trying to do. So, for example, someone's trying to um, entry on B on bind. There's millions of ways to do it. There's ways that maybe they do it that I don't see that is most effective. And then I would teach them my ways or a more just a general more effective way to entry on B to give them a higher chance of success, because in anyone, that's all they're asking for is a higher chance of success. So that's what I'm trying to do for the people that I teach, and I believe that is what they're seeking. They're asking for help for something that they're doing. They feel like either they're top fragging and they're still losing, or they're bottom fragging and they're winning. It's like, why is that happening? Why does that always happen to me? And then we would go over steps and fundamentals on what we can do to improve either their gameplay, their communications, their map awareness, just getting more knowledgeable about the agent that they like, things of that nature.
I get it. Like even for me, like when I first started on Valorant, a lot of the players that were playing Valorant had moved from CS:GO. And I never really like played CS:GO. So like playing an FPS shooter on my PC was kind of new to me.
Oh yeah.
I noticed when I play a little bit, like there will be certain angles that I think I'm peaking correctly, but I'm not peaking to my full, like the correct way, like to my full capacity. And I'll die, and I'll be like, "Yo, like, what the hell? Like, I shot him. Like, I know I hit him, but why did he kill me first? Like that, like,
Interp, pink flag.
yeah, it's like the weirdest thing to me. I can't nail it. Or there'll be times when I'm playing Yoru, and the way I play Yoru, like not a lot of people understand, like because it's weird to them. I'll purposely let the enemy know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And while they're pushing me, I'll throw out my C, or what's it called, the teleport.
Yeah, TP ability. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just teleport behind the enemy and just kill the shit out of them. And they'll be like, that's not how Euros play. You're supposed to throw the walk out and trick them. And I was like, nah.
And it's funny you say that. That's not how Euros play. That's not how XYZ is played. I always tell people is that there is no one way to do something. This is literally an art form. These games, a lot of people, older people, my parents or maybe my grandparents, they look at this game, they see it at face value. You can't see it as that. Yeah, it is shooting. Yeah, it is violence. It's cartoon violence though. But at the same time, it is an art form. And when you really start understanding this art form, you can create a masterpiece, a really beautiful masterpiece. And that's what I try to teach teams and players, that you have to paint me the picture on what you're trying to show me. Show me what you're trying to do. Paint me that picture. Draw me that masterpiece. You tell me what's going on.
No, I get that. So like basically what you're saying is when you do the coaching that you do for these teams and whatnot, you kind of want the team to tell you what they want to see improvement in, because like it's like if you're teaching a kid how to play piano, like yeah, the kid wants to play the piano, but what does he want to do with that skill that you're about to teach him? Like, so I see as far as when you go into playing Valorant and you know, you might have a strat for a certain map, like you're playing split, and you know, all right, we're defending, don't push off site. That's like, it's like the basic rule of defending. Nobody leave the site unless you're middle and you're roaming around. There should be like maybe one roamer. That's it. Everybody else is guarding the site. And the tricky part is with that is holding the site down, but getting your kills off and retreating back to like your cover position. And a lot of players, and even I do it myself. Like I do it in some of my when I be a Twitch streamer with my boy Lus. We I'll peek out, or I'll peek fully out, and not really consciously think that I'm going to either get the kill or I'm not going to get the kill. I just push out because like I feel confident enough for myself to know, yo, I can hear where they are. They are all making hella noise. I'm about to pop this corner and kill somebody, and then I'll do it. I might get one head, but at what cost? I might get that one head and then die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I traded, but at the same time, at what cost did I gain my team the advantage of them losing me to play? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's a weird thing to me.
It's more about what you see the game as. Like when you're in defense, what does that mean to you? It means it literally. I asked a Radiant player this question that I was coaching, and I would ask a Bronze player that question. They'll give me two different answers, and that's totally fine. I'll give them my version of the answer, and we can mutually disagree, or we can just mutually agree. It's fine. They're allowed to disagree with me. I want you sometimes to disagree. I want you to combat it because it shows me you're thinking. But in the end, all I ask and all I tell people is every action that you do, make sure you're favoring the round. If you're doing that, then it's fine. But a lot of the times you'll see a lot of players do is not favor the round. They'll be most likely favoring the frag strictly and just want to win an aim duel. When that example you just said, you're most likely talking about a strict aim duel, and it's not about who's the better aimer. It's who's the better aimer right then and there.
Yeah, like because that's all that really matters. Like even like there'll be times I'll be like, yo, like this man has got to be cheating. Like there's no fucking way he hit me from where I was standing. And the craziest part is, I feel as though the creativeness is where this game relies in, is that people take the time to figure out how to screw over or fuck over the other person that they're fighting. And it's a whole mental thing because they put the hours in to figure out what they can shoot through, how they can hit you, how they can get you without you knowing how they got you, and it leave you stuck. It'll be like, yo, like I really wish that there was a kill cam for when people die, so now I know how the fuck he shot me. Like it'll be the most bizarre angle. Usually, and you'll be sitting there, you'll be like, you'll peek it, you'll hit him maybe like once or twice, and you think, yo, like he has got to have no health. And then out of nowhere, you peek again, insta kill, you're dead. Like, I don't understand. But go ahead.
It's usually, you know, the situations that you may be describing is a lot of people usually describes that either like people are just running and gunning and they get that crazy headshot that's like, I can't even recreate that, but you can. They just do it every time. That could be a little bit associated with ping, but a lot of people in ranked games, what it sounds like we're talking about is more ranked games than actual like coordinated team play. Like in ranked games, you know, a lot of people just regress and do these crazy things because in the end, you know, a lot of people sit their butt down, they turn on their computer, they put their headset on, they log in to the game, and they get into rank queue just to shoot stuff. Because that's what's fun. When you look at a commercial for Valorant, what do you see? You see people shooting things. You see big explosions. That's so cool. Wow. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. That's the main focus that they advertise. So that's what people in general are gonna want to do. But in the end, you don't always need to do that.
True. I get what you're saying. Like, in my opinion, certain games like this, this is a competitive game. There's a competitive and then there's a relaxing side of the game. The competitiveness comes in ranked, because if we're being completely honest, unrated matches don't really matter. They do, but if you're queuing up by yourself and you're playing unrated, if you lose, you lose. There's no risk being taken because you're just playing an unrated match. All you're really gaining is XP. You're not losing anything when you play unrated. There's no penalty for being shit during the round. Like it doesn't matter. If you're playing ranked, that's a different story because now you have something that you have to lose. Now you're fighting for it because if you lose this match, you're going to either lose your rank or lose your RR. And for those of you that don't know what RR is, basically it's the form of XP you gain for your rank. So let's say you win a round. Let's say you drop 25-4. Depending on how high your kills are to your deaths, you'll gain a lot of RR. If you have more deaths than kills and you lose, you'll lose a lot of RR. So it's a risk and reward factor when you play ranked. But another question I wanted to ask you, what made you want to start coaching? Like what provoked you to want to coach these players and coach these teams and get their heads into the right state of mind while they're playing ranked?
When I started coaching just on a whim. I just literally played on a 10-man and a 10-man server on Pro Guides. When I first transferred over to Valorant, I was literally playing ESEA, and then my roommate just comes in. It's like, yo, man, you got to try this Valorant game. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I just literally tried it, and I didn't like it at all. And then I continued playing ESEA, and then I just went back to it a couple weeks later. And then after that, it's just, I just played it a little bit here and there. I looked on some YouTube videos about it, and it was one of them was Pro Guides. So then they had the Discord. So I went on a Pro Guides 10-man just on a whim. I think I was definitely Diamond 1, I think, at that time. And I was just playing. I just didn't think anything of it. And I kept continuing going to these 10-mans on Pro Guides because they had it pretty much weekly. And eventually, I think after the third or fourth one, the admins just dragged me down to a different channel. It's like, have you ever thought about coaching? I'm like, that's a thing. Like, I always thought, coaching is like, only like pro players would like offer sometimes like on like you have to message them via email. I remember I did that once and I never got a response back. So I'm like, all right, I guess this is never a thing. And then so they actually just asked me if I wanted to actually consider coaching players because I was already pretty much doing it when I was in the 10-man because I was, clutching a couple rounds and such here and there in these 10-mans, and they liked my aim and they're asking, oh, how did I do this? How did I do that? And I was just explaining it to them. And one of these admins was in there, which I had no idea at the time that they were in an admin. I was in the 10-man with me, and I was just said, sure, I'll try it. And then I applied. I thought really nothing of it. It took 3 months for me to actually have my application go through and actually get an interview. And then once I got an interview, I just started coaching on their platform. I just learned as I go. I just taught the first person, and then I just kind of started building my own fundamentals and terminology and ways to explain things that are happening in the game.
I see where coaching leads at how you got into coaching. It's a very interesting way on how you got into it. So like one day your friend just walks in and he goes, yo, you gotta try this game. And it's funny. Sometimes like even when my friends would be like, bro, you gotta try this game. I'd be like, yo, this game ass.
Yeah.
And then I play it. I'm like, yo, you trying to get on? Like you just trying to do? And then they hit me with that dumbass smirk. They're like, bro, weren't you just talking shit about this game? Now you over here playing it? Like,
it's addicting. This game is addicting. It just reminds me of back in the day. I used to play America's Army. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Nah.
Old school players may know that one. But it's just, I was looking for, that urge just to compete again. And this game, I don't know, just kind of grew on me. It was very weird. It's like a telepathic thing. It just was not a thing I wanted to do. Like I just was playing it here and there. I didn't understand it. And then I just kept playing it. And it got easier for me. And then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to understand how this game is. And then
I definitely get it, man.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off. But
No,
like,
it's okay. Yeah,
I definitely agree with you.
absolutely.
Do you feel like you learn things from the people you coach?
Oh, I learn things every single time. I've coached 3 schools this week. I've coached them for a couple weeks now.
Schools.
Yeah, schools. Yeah.
The hell is you
Uh,
talking about?
yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I don't just coach individual players. I've graduated to coaching now schools. Um,
Well, like universities
high schools and universities. It can be done too.
that have gaming like teams over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's like think of it as like a book club. Think of it as like another book club. It's like
That's crazy. So how does that go about? Like, do you just what like you just go to this school and be like, hey, you got a team? like
I honestly don't know. I graduated high school a long time ago, so I'm not sure, but I believe how it comes is like, do you play this game or do you want to learn how to play this game? Come join this Valorant club, and then they just say, sure, why not? I can play a video game and that goes along with school, and I can get a good grade. It's like a win-win. So why not? A lot of people do it, and a lot of people are not really that serious with it. But some players are, and I can tell who is more dedicated than others. I mean, some. If I'm wrong about someone, I never want to offend anybody, but some players do. I do. You can always see who puts more work than someone else does. So, a lot of these schools that I'm working with, it's just really fun to just see players having fun just playing the game. And I learned so many things from them. Like sometimes they just show me these. I don't play all the agents. I definitely don't. But I love when people show me like a weird lineup with Killjoy, or a cool smoke TP combo with Omen, like anything. And I just think those are cool. Or a cool Viper lineup, or a cool Viper one way. It's
and you know what's funny? You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because it's almost like, because you're like a mentor, a friend, and a teacher, to some of these kids that like want to play the game, and it's amazing the way that you connect with these individuals on the game, and you're teaching them and whatnot, and you're keeping them inspired on what they could do potentially with the skills that you're teaching them with this game, because a lot of people take gaming as like, yeah, it's just it's shits and giggles, like you're playing it, it's for entertainment purposes, yes, but there are ways that you can earn money from just literally sitting there playing the game. Like,
sure.
Not a lot of people understand the fact that like gamers, like competitive gamers, actually do like non-stop hours of playing the game, learning it, and getting it down to a base form of understanding and enjoyment. And
absolutely,
it takes hours of time and focus into doing these things. And a lot of the time when they go into these these tournaments and whatnot, some of these like teams have to pay to actually go into the tournament, like, and it's
not that much depending on what it is.
Yeah, depending on what it is, but like still they gotta pay to get in there, and then they gotta prove to everybody else why they're the better team, and they gotta like show that in front of like thousands of people. So it's almost I don't want to say it's like a football match, but it's like even when you're playing any sport at all, you have to prove to everybody else why you're the better team. And that's where the competitive comes into, and that's why like I never understood, like if I'm queuing up for ranked, everybody should have a mic. There should be nobody with just no mic. That shit burns me up so much, because it's like, we're in ranked, why is nobody talking? Like,
it's funny you say that, because and I was going to say something else I actually forgot, but it may come back to me. But it's funny you said, because first off, there's no rule that you have to have a microphone. There's no rule,
but there should be some form.
There's no rule that you have to have a smoke agent in your team.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
There's no rules to these things. Now, do I want people with mics? Damn right I do. But at the same time, as I do still get frustrated, because I do get frustrated. I'm a New Yorker. We always get frustrated about everything. But at the same time, it's their right to not speak. And maybe they have a right, that they have a reason on why they don't want to speak, which I do see all over Twitter as well. I always, I put one tweet out, which was, I guess you can say controversial to others, but it wasn't controversial to me. I didn't think twice when I posted it, about how if you have strong map awareness, someone with a microphone is literally just a luxury. It's a bonus.
It is.
It's not a requirement, because if you have strong map awareness, the information that they're going to be telling you, you kind of already know, at that point already. So
True.
Do you really need that? And I have, in some of my boot camps, I do some people who have communication related issues or map awareness issues. I test them and I tell them, you're going to play this ranked game and you're going to be muted. Like, you're going to actually mute everyone. You can talk, but you can't hear anyone. You can't see their text, nothing. All you can do is ping and come to them, but you can't hear them.
I agree with that. And the only reason why I agree with that is because I see what you're doing now. You're teaching them how to play the map with no sound, like nothing.
Well, not sound, no microphones.
But you know what I mean? Like, dead comms, nothing.
Correct.
And with that, I feel like what you, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like what you're doing is you're teaching them how to not rely on somebody else going, yo, they're over here. And I now am changing my opinion. I agree with that.
It's nice to have.
Obviously,
we all want it. Let's just face it. We all freaking want it.
Yeah,
I want it. You want. I'll say it till the last day. I want comms. I understand. I do want comms. But this is a thing, just like your mother, or your father will teach you to be independent. Am I right?
Yes.
You have to be independent, and you have to not be so reliant on others, because if you do, you're crippling yourself.
I agree.
I don't want to say the word crippling. That may be offensive, but you're hurting yourself.
Yes. But I fully agree with that. And because even with no comms, at least ping, at least do that.
Something. Contribute in some way to help me know at least what's happening. That would be great. It is a good test, but I 100% agree. Comms, I want them so bad. But I get when people don't want to because of the toxicity that literally grew with this game, like a weed that will not die.
I don't understand what that is with games either. Like, if you're playing a game, why are you going out of your way to just be an ass? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you're bored,
that's the answer.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the answer, because they're bored.
Go take that to unrated, because at least on unrated there's nothing to lose.
No,
but like
no. If I can piss someone off, I'm happy. I'm bored. That's it. That's it. You're laughing, but it's true. That's it.
It is.
But when you're ticked off and when you're annoyed,
you do bad at the game. Like
you want someone else to feel that pain. Not just you.
Oh man. But all right, so what's the market like for coaching? Like, what does it take? Like, what does it take to be a Valorant coach?
I think, when I started, I didn't think about any of that stuff, about what the market's like and such, but to be honest, anyone can do it. I don't think there's any, qualifications. I mean, if you have degrees and such or certifications, they're obviously it'll help you, but anyone can do it. All really coaching is just a different perspective, a different outlook, a different opinion. I don't know if you know, but psychologists, psychiatrists, they probably have their own psychiatrists and psychologists as well for them.
True. I always thought about that. Like, if a therapist has to listen to somebody and their problems all day long, they gotta have their own therapist.
Because like it sounds so bad.
I mean, if you think about it, if you really think about it, like, you're paid hundreds of dollars a day to listen to random people and their most deepest, darkest desires to fears to problems. And you have no one to vent to. So then you hire your own therapist because you're a therapist. And you listen to other problems. It's like a dentist The dentist can't work in its own teeth. The dentist got to go hire another dentist to work in their teeth.
Yeah.
A mailman has to get mail from a coworker. Like,
yeah, it's a circle of life. It's a great thing, and just there really is. I don't know what the market really is, to be honest. I do see posts all over about XYZ wants to be a coach and such. I think what the difference and what separates, I wouldn't say a good coach versus a bad coach, but a dedicated player that wants to teach versus ones that's just saying they want to do it, or F/A coach, free agent coach. I think it just becomes, do you really actually want to pursue this path of actual coaching? Because I don't think many people really know what it takes to be one, and understand that you're literally watching VODs, you're watching the game, you're literally sitting in customs on your own, doing things, figuring things out, to create your own type plays. Like that's what makes a good one. That's what makes a good one, that you create your own things. Not, I mean, heck, you can watch YouTube and look at lineups and stuff, and you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's even better if you can create your own, so you can do what you want, not limit yourself to what others found out.
True.
That's what it takes, I think, to be a good one. And the market, honestly, just work. I literally had the luxury of someone introducing me to it. And they don't do, I think when I started, they didn't even do it anymore, but they just recruited someone else, aka me. And I'm like, sure, why not? I'll do it, because it was fun. It's fun to see others succeed. But I built my reputation just by giving free tips. First, I don't think anyone else out there was giving free tips, and now all of a sudden I see a lot of people doing it, which is no problem. It doesn't matter to me. But for me, for branding purposes on Twitter, I just like, let me just do a tip a day. It doesn't have to be game breaking. I like to do some controversial ones because it's fun, but just a different perspective about a thing about the game. And I just think it's good to work either for free if you don't really have experience. If you do have some experience, you can ask for some compensation. But understand at the same time, when money's involved, whether it's $5, $10, $30, $1,000, whatever it is, when money comes, now they're expecting more out of you. So when it's free, they don't really expect much, but when it comes down to money, they're expecting a lot more out of you. So you really have to step up your game if you're going to ask for money.
No, you know what? I agree with you, because when you're asking somebody to do something for you, like, yeah, there's money involved in it. Like, everybody's got their price. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I completely understand that. But for me,
but here's the thing. Here we go.
What makes Valorant tough for you?
Tough for me.
Like, what do you feel like you personally struggle with when you play Valorant? Like, for example, like the clips that you sent me earlier, like some of these clips, or not even some of these clips, all these clips are they some good clips. I ain't gonna lie, they some good clips. What do you feel like you could have done better in some of these shots you did here? Like, for example, let me see if I can find it right quick. Go back to it. Where'd the clips go? Yeah, hold on. Where the clips at? I had them in here. That is a separate problem we will talk about later. But for the first clip that you sent, you sent me.
I know which one you're talking about. Okay, so I can give you a little synopsis for them, even though people can't see them. Yeah. So one of them is about spraying. The one's about spraying, because a lot of people is like, oh, I gotta learn how to spray, and it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to learn how to spray. You don't. All you have to learn is how to shoot a target. That's all you have to do. You don't have to spray if you actually hit your target, because if you hit your target, you won't be spraying. You're gonna press your mouse, and then you're gonna shoot. You're gonna kill him, and then that's it. If you whiff, then you're spraying, but you don't have to control it, because that's not the thing you have to do. Spraying, all that really does, all you really should be doing when you're spraying, yeah, you're controlling your recoil, but it's more for straight transfers.
I
That's
see it.
really that's really it. You don't really need to learn to control your spray in general, because if you are trying to do that, you're just straight up whiffing.
I see it because
So don't whiff.
I'm watching the clip. I'm watching. I found out where the clips were because they were on Discord. They weren't on Twitter. So like this first clip with you and the Spectre, I see the way
Yeah.
you're shooting and you're spraying, but how do I explain? Like you're being still and you're at head level. So even if you did miss, you're still getting them. You get what I'm saying? Like your recoil and the way that you're holding the mouse down while you're shooting, it stays in the head level, so it doesn't matter. So like I've done this a few times myself, and
Yeah.
I catch myself doing it like just randomly because like I don't ever go like, yo, when I pop this corner, all of them dropping like like
Damn,
so
going hard.
when I pull the corner sometimes, a lot of the times, and I tell a lot of people this, when I'm scared is when I get all my shots in. Like
Yeah, you gotta be able to buckle under pressure and be calm under those instances. That takes time.
Like I use my adrenaline to my advantage because like there'll be times when it'll be like 1v4 or something, and I'll be like, yo, like ain't no way I'm about to kill all of them, and then I'll kill one, and then from 1 to 2, it's from 2 to the whole team, and it's like, bro, like they can't hold me. Like I don't know what they thought they could do to me, and you hype yourself up, you feel confident, and then you start playing like you're scared all the time, or just for me, in my opinion, because
confidence can be tough for some people. But that's definitely not what's tough for me. What's tough for me is more about others, because I am one that gets off like I get my thing, like my hype is when I see people working together, combining abilities.
yes,
Again, about rolling back from the beginning of the conversation about creating art. I love when people creating art together. That's what
like
I love.
when it's a flow of chaotic, of controlled chaos. Like
Yes.
everybody's getting a kill, everybody's moving together. They're doing this thing almost like I think it's one of these clips in here. You and your team, I think it was the last one where you were playing as Rays, and you and your team was, you was moving around. Are you playing Rays? You're not playing Rays.
No, it was
Brim.
Phoenix. Oh, it was Phoenix. Oh, it was Brim. Oh yeah, my Brim one. That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Like you're moving around, you're getting all your kills, like you're blinding corners, you're shooting your shots.
Oh yeah. It was the Brim one. No, it was the Brim one. It was no, I was Omen in the first one.
Yeah.
The second one was Phoenix, and the third one was Breach.
Even with Phoenix, you know what? Let's scratch that. Pull back to the Phoenix clip. You throw your flare or your fire against over the wall.
Yeah.
And you're moving around with Sova, but you're also keeping yourself, inside the area where your defense is. You're pushing out. You're going to the middle site.
This is Haven, by the way, for people who obviously cannot see it.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna have it up. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, good. Very good.
You're pushing Haven. You're holding it down, but the way you're holding it down, your team is also talking to you, going like, "Yo, yada yada yada," and it's a good moment. It's a hype moment that you're you're feeling. Now, that like what you just did there is exactly what I'm talking about when I go, "Yo, like once I get the first kill, my confidence goes from non to yo, I'm about to wipe everybody here." Like everybody here is about to get wiped. Like I don't care what nobody says. I got my team. I'm gonna get them this win.
I feel like I just picture you like having like 30 gold chains on your neck, and you're going like left and right with your arm. It's like no one can touch me. It's just all the chains are clinging and clanging against each other.
Yeah, bro. Like even with this Brim clip, like you threw that blind out in that corner, and you wiped the entire team. Like you hit them all.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, you hit them.
That's just one of them.
So randomly that you didn't really take that much damage. You had 83 health. Then you used your shockwave. You threw another blind, and then I didn't get to see if you killed that solo, but I'm fairly certain you killed him.
Honestly, like, things like of this nature, like the stuff that this happens, it's just basics. All this stuff that that I'm displaying are literally basics. There's nothing really fancy about it. I have fancy things, fancy clips and stuff, but the problem with those fancy clips is that people always try to recreate them, and that is not ideal. That is not realistic. Um, I always
Yeah,
preach for simplicity in your gameplay. Just keep it simple to be regularly effective, and that's what's more easy for me because I just always like to keep it simple. And then sometimes it just becomes back to back to back from kills to kill to kill, and it just looks so cool because it just looks so clean. But yeah, to answer that question from before, it definitely tough for me is that people are unwilling to work together to achieve a common goal, which is literally the only common goal in an attack round is to just plant the spike. That's it. That's all you got to do, and let the Valorant gods do the rest when the time ticks away. But everyone just wants to just shoot things on their own and look at the scoreboard when they press that tab key or whatever key they have it bound to, and make sure that they're on the top. That's all they want to care about is when they're on the top. That's what makes Valorant tough for me. When people don't want to work together, and then you just have 5 individuals doing their own thing.
no, I definitely agree. When five people doing their own thing, the game can kind of be a little, messy. And I completely agree with the whole. You gotta have that. You gotta have controlled chaos. Like it's a lot going on, but you gotta be able to control what. You gotta be able to control like what you're personally doing. Like, yeah, you got your team, but you gotta be worried about what you're doing. You get what I mean?
It's about controlling the environment.
Yeah.
You're trying to say you're trying to control the environment and dare say almost control the players, which you can technically do.
Yes. There will be times I'll play, right? I'll play, and it's a weird thing. It's like cause and effect. Like if you're hyping your team up, like, yo, guys, like we got it. Like even if you're the only one talking, just simple encouragement really does boost the confidence of your team. Like they might not be talking back to you, but they can hear you and they can go like,
oh
yo,
yeah,
like,
oh yeah,
this guy, I like this guy. we gonna play with this guy. But
a lot of my friends literally just came from that. The friends that I made in this game, it's just me calming, me working, me trying to be the team player. They're like, after the game was won, they just add me, and then I just keep playing with them, and they became my friends.
And that's the art of collaboration in the internet. But
yeah,
where can people find and or contact you, or where can they hire you at? Like I don't know how that goes for you, how you have that set up.
well,
like let's say somebody wants to get coaching from you, where would they be able to find your clips and all that?
They can always find me on Twitter, twitter.com/_Krypt. That's KRYPTWALK. You can find me there. So I'm always posting tips Monday through Friday. Also, you can check me out or any other coach on Pro Guides on proguides.com/coach/Krypt. I'm on both those platforms, and you can just always ask me any questions at all.
That's actually pretty good. Like you don't charge nothing. You just
just have a conversation. A simple question shouldn't be shouldn't cost anything. True. Because I'm giving away tips, and some are obvious, but some necessarily aren't. But I just like to have the conversation. I love just talking about these things.
I agree, because you know what, you're like a dime a dozen when it comes to coaches, in my opinion. Some coaches will actually charge you to get questions.
That is $2 since you just asked 2 questions before I answer. Here's my PayPal. I can't do that. It's not right.
No.
A lot of people, in this game or this community, I should say, have I wouldn't say have issues. That's the wrong word. Mental stresses, and it affects them. And I want to help. I do want to help. The reason why I do ask for payment, and the only reason why I ask for payment is because I can't do it for free.
Yeah,
When I started, when I was brought,
everything has. I get what you're saying. Everything has its, its price
uh,
because you're taking your time.
that is true, but it's not. It's also, there is that. However, because my girlfriend will kill me if I do something for free, because she knows it's like I run it as a business. However, at the same time, I do it because when I was brought in, I was getting compensation, for teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but if I do something for free for one person and someone else paid, you're disrespecting the person who paid for the services that someone else is getting for free. So, and also at the same time, when people do not pay for something, you don't always respect or value the words or thing, the service, the tangible object that you're getting as much unless you paid for it. And I want people to cherish and actually hone the words that I give them. So a little bit of compensation is what I ask for. And I will give you literally more than enough time to answer every question that you have.
Agreed. Now, on that note, that's all the time we have for today. We have Krypt's Tips, our lovely, friendly Valorant coach that
Yes,
we got.
we always have love, have fun. Having fun is the best thing.
Indeed. Any closing statements? Well, of course, we're gonna put all of
Yeah.
Krypt's socials down in the description. Is there anything that you want to leave off these interested Valorant players with before we end this clip?
Well, if and anyone does listen to this lovely conversation that we have, I always will thank you for that. Always keep an open mind when you play this game. This game can be worse than smoking cigarettes. You have to understand that progress takes time. The things that I've done in the gaming world has taken me a lot of time to do. And I know a lot of people who want to do things in the gaming world, and they see people their age that are on the champion stage, or they're getting paid a lot of money. It takes a long time to do those things. Some people have the gift to do it quickly, and that's great, but you have to understand, just love what you do and do what you love, and things will naturally come to you. I promise you that. I really promise you that.
And on that note, I'm Dino. That's Krypt's. And this has been Krypt's Tips.